You sat in the same seat again today, same spot in the meeting room, same side of the couch. You didn't choose it. You just went there. But why? Somewhere inside you, a very old instinct just made a very old decision, and it has nothing to do with comfort. It has to do with survival. For most of human history, where you stood decided whether you lived or died. Territory meant food. Territory meant safety. Territory meant your children would eat tonight. So your brain built a system to protect it. That system never got the memo that the danger is gone. Think about your desk at work. You didn't sign a contract for that exact chair. Nobody assigned you that mug, that pen holder, that little photo angle just so. You just started leaving things there. And now, if someone else sits in your chair or something in your chest tightens, it feels small to say out loud, but it isn't small. It's ancient. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall spent years studying something he called proxemics, the invisible bubble of space every person carries around their body. Decode that word for a second. Proxemics simply means the science of personal distance. Hall found that humans unconsciously divide space into zones: intimate distance, personal distance, social distance, public distance. Step into the wrong zone with the wrong person, and the body reacts before the mind even understands why. A stranger stands too close on a train. Your shoulders rise, your jaw tightens. You didn't decide to feel that. Your nervous system decided for you. This is not manners. This is not culture. This is territory. Go back further, much further. 98% of human existence happened before agriculture, before cities, before property lines drawn on paper. Your ancestors lived in small bands, moving across land that had to feed them. A hunting ground wasn't a preference, it was survival. Lose it to a rival group and you didn't just lose a view, you lost your next meal. So the brain built something powerful, a fast, emotional, almost involuntary reaction to anything that threatens a space you've claimed. Psychologist Erwin Altman called this territorial behavior, and he broke it into stages that still show up in your life today. Marking, defending, personalizing. You mark a space with objects, a jacket on a chair, a water bottle on a desk. You defend it with posture, with a look, sometimes with actual words, and you personalize it, slowly making it feel like an extension of yourself. Here's the strange part. None of this requires ownership. You don't own that seat on the train. You don't own that armrest in the movie theater. But your body still reacts as if you do. Why would evolution build a system this strong for something so small? Because for nearly all of human history, small territories were the only kind that existed. A patch of shade, a spot near water, a place close enough to the fire to stay warm but far enough not to get burned. These weren't luxuries. These were the difference between a body that survived winter and one that didn't. Now look at something bigger, something you've probably felt but never named. Researchers Barry Schwartz and Stephen Barsky studied professional sports teams across an entire season, tracking wins and losses by location. What did you think, be honest? That home advantage is about crowd noise? It's part of it. But something deeper is happening. Teams playing on their own field win more often across nearly every sport studied, in nearly every era measured. The players are the same, the rules are the same. The only thing that changes is whose territory the game is played on. Your body responds to home ground the way your ancestors' bodies responded to a familiar hunting range. Confidence rises, aggression sharpens, fear drops. None of it is conscious. All of it is inherited. Now bring this back to something small again, something almost embarrassing. Have you ever gotten irrationally annoyed when someone rearranges your kitchen, moves your car in the driveway to a different spot, sits in your chair at a family dinner? You know, logically, that nothing was stolen, nothing was damaged, and yet the irritation is real. It sits in your chest like a small alarm going off. That alarm is older than language, older than fire, some researchers argue. It may be older than your species itself. Many primates display near-identical territorial marking behavior. Chimpanzees patrol borders of their range, sometimes violently, defending land they will never build anything permanent on. They aren't protecting architecture, they're protecting access, access to food, access to safety, access to survival. You do the same thing with a parking spot. Here's a question worth sitting with. What if none of your territorial instincts ever asked whether the modern world still needs them? What if your brain is still running software written for a world where the wrong patch of land meant starvation, and it simply never got updated for a world of assigned seating and shared kitchens? That would explain a lot. It would explain why open-plan offices designed to erase personal space so often increase stress instead of reducing it. It would explain why moving to a new house, even a better one, can feel disorienting for months. Your nervous system hasn't finished mapping a new territory yet. It would explain the specific low-grade irritation of a stranger's bag taking up 2 seats on a crowded bus. None of this makes you petty. It makes you human. Every person doing this every single day without noticing is running a survival program built across millions of years in a world that no longer resembles the one it was built for. So here's where it gets interesting. Once you see the pattern, you cannot stop seeing it. Watch someone enter a shared office for the first time. Watch how quickly they claim a spot, angle a chair, place an object just so. Watch a stranger sit in your usual cafe table. Notice the flicker of something. Not anger exactly, but a version of it, faint and automatic. That flicker is a message from an ancestor you will never meet, still trying to protect land that no longer needs protecting. You could try to fight this instinct. Some people do, forcing themselves into shared spaces, rotating seats, giving things up on purpose just to prove they can. But most people don't fight it. Most people never even notice it's there. Which is the real point. This isn't a flaw, it's a fossil, a working, living fossil, embedded in your nervous system, quietly shaping which chair you choose, which side of the bed feels like yours, which patch of the world you defend without ever asking why. You sat in the same seat again today, and somewhere underneath that small, unremarkable choice, an instinct built for a much older world just did exactly what it was built to do. It claimed ground, quietly, the way it always has, the way it always will. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming informative videos.